Well, I realise I'm one day late. um, I set this up for yesterday originally at this time, but I was actually on TikTok. When I actually posted this video, I wasn't expecting to be on TikTok because my current channels were banned. I'm having terrible trouble with TikTok at the moment, banning me immediately for doing nothing. And I managed to get another channel set up with the help of a friend. And I was actually using that last night. And I managed to go the whole night without getting banned once. Tonight, I went on and a guest came up. He said he wanted to grape me, and I didn't quite hear what he said, so I asked him to repeat it, and he repeated it. Can I grape you? And then, of course, I was trying to get him, removed as quick. Well, I was actually ending the live. I was in the process of ending the live. But unfortunately, my phone wasn't working properly, and I had to press the button several times before it ended. At which point, it got out a few other cusses, such as I think he said something like effing and the N word. I'm not quite sure. But then I just managed to end it luckily on the fourth or fifth press of ending the live, and it ended it. And I thought that was it. I waited a few minutes. I went back to restart it, and the warning was up there that the live was banned for 1 week. Um, this really is crazy now. This is like the third, fourth time this has happened to me, where guests have come on, they've done this, and they've got the live banned because they have done that. And that's what they want. This is what those guests want. They want the live band, and they do that knowing that they will get the live band by doing that. And TikTok, you know, give them what they want. And so it's not going to stop. This is going to continue. It's going to be a continuous problem now for TikTok forever. Anytime anyone wants to get a live band on TikTok, you just go on there, report yourself, then go on there, shout and swear and swear and say horrible, nasty things or nasty words, or attack a particular group, so the N word or the LBTGQ community or any other, particular group, and TikTok will ban the life. I really can't understand why TikTok have this rule in place, to be honest with you. I can understand you, TikTok, you punishing the people that do the crime. I cannot understand you punishing the people who have no part in the crime. That is absolutely crazy, TikTok. Really, it is. And it is something eventually that I will, go and see TikTok about. Um, you know, I have to wait until I get some more time, which I've got coming up in the next s- 7 or 8 weeks. I think it is in the next 7 or 8 weeks. I'm going to have at least a week of spare time on my hand, and I plan to go down to TikTok in that week. And just basically ask them about this. As I say, it's not only that. I mean, there are a lot of other things. That um, I, I got banned once for saying that Muslims thought they were a special case. I mean, how can you be banned for hate speech and hate behaviour for saying that Muslims think they are special when that's exactly what they do? They do think they're special. But how can that be hate speech? And yet, that's what TikTok claimed. That was hate speech and hate behaviour, and so they banned me for a week for saying that. Um, it's beyond ridiculous. I personally and truly believe, and I do, wholly heartedly believe this, that the moderator who's actually doing these bans is a Muslim himself. I'm pretty sure of that. All right, Snow. I'm pretty sure that if I found the name of this particular moderator, who was not only banning me but banning other Christians as well, his name would be Muhammad or Abdul or Ali. He would be a Muslim. I've no doubt of that. No doubt whatsoever. Um, but yeah, I mean that was just a totally ridiculous ban. As I say, it's similar to the one I got previously after a few minutes. I mean, that was a bit longer than I think that was about 10 minutes again, wasn't it? And so that's the third time now. I've had a ban after 2 minutes. Literally, no guest had even been on. I'd been on myself less than 2 minutes. There was only one person in the room, and they banned the live. I have no idea even what that ban was for, to be honest with you, because I can't even remember what I said in less than 2 minutes. And then there's been two now, which have been 10 minutes. This one just gone, and there was another one just after that, which was also for 2 minutes. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Hello, Carmen. How are you? Um, I don't understand it. As I said, but I'm sure it's a Muslim mod that's doing it. I'm pretty certain of that. Um, and as you say, I believe I agree with you. Whoever did probably reported themselves before they even came up on stage. But not only did they report themselves before they came up on stage, it was either an AI mod or it was a Muslim mod who was also waiting in the wings. So maybe it was a bad idea to pre warn people that the light was happening. Maybe that was a bad idea because the only people who it seemed to have pre-warned are the Muslims who got themselves ready. um, but yeah, it's surprising how quickly
Oh,
the
sorry,
ban got.
Tony. I was having trouble with the mic, but no, you're right. I don't think we, should do the pre-warning thing before because it just warns the Muslims. Maybe the mods. Maybe just warn the mods next time, and then just leave the Muslims because I think we can't really trust them. They're very sneaky with the way they do things. Like that was just ridiculous what they did.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, definitely, it was yeah, pre-warning. I think it's a bad idea. yeah, yeah. But as I say, I mean, that was uncalled for anyway. Because as I say, I mean, as soon as he repeated he wanted to grape me, I was pressing the end the live from then. But because for some reason my phone was very slow, I had to press it 4 or 5 times before it finally ended it. And in which time he got out another 2 words. But I still think them, you know, banning it uh, uh, after I'd ended it, because I'd actually ended it before they banned it. That's the point. That stream did end before they banned it because I didn't see the ban until I went to restart it. Then when I went to restart it is when I saw the ban. There was no ban that came through when it ended. So, I ended that live and they hadn't banned it. They banned that live after I ended it. Or literally it was probably the same time the live got banned at the same time as I ended it, one or the other. But definitely, it wasn't um, banned whilst the live was still going, because I would have got the warning, and there was no warning. I didn't get the warning until I went and tried to restart it again. Then the warning came up, and I'm like, "What? What? When did you ban it? I never saw you banned it." And yet again, the clip that they send you, proving that the hate speech and hate behaviour was blocked out again. So they blocked the clip yet again, showing what the hate speech and hate behaviour was. Although we all know what it was. It was that little child, obviously. who was saying those disgusting things. But I mean, I can't understand, as I say, why TikTok do that. I mean, it's so clear to anyone else, that if you're going to tell people, if you want, to get a live band and you behave in that way, we will ban that live for you. Of course, you're going to get people who will come up and behave in that way to get the live band because that's what they want. I mean, seriously, I just cannot understand why TikTok cannot, see that, understand that, and grasp that point when it is so clear to everybody else. Um, seriously, I think it's crazy. I really do. And as I say, I mean, I personally think TikTok will not last much longer under its present format. I think, the way that TikTok is going under its present format, I can't see it lasting a lot longer, to be honest with you. Um, because it's just ridiculous now. It really is. And so many people have left, as I said. I mean, if I'd been able to get this channel up and running, I wouldn't be bothering with TikTok anymore. There'd be no need for me to do TikTok anymore because I could do everything I can do on TikTok. I can do on this channel just as easy, and it's a lot harder to get banned on this channel than it is on TikTok. This channel is the easiest way that they can get you banned on this channel is by reporting you for copyright. And the only way you can get done for copyright on this channel is if you play music or videos or other YouTube streams. And I wouldn't never do that. So, the chances of me getting banned on here would be very, very slim. Um, but as I say, the only reason why I'm still using TikTok is because this channel just doesn't grow. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. I see other, Christian apologists, they get 50, 60, 70, 80 in the hundreds, and some of them in the thousands. Um, and, well, I'm just baffling, really, to be honest with you, while I'm struggling to get 4 or 5 after 5 years. Crazy. But yeah, that was a rather, as I say, it's. I think it's quite obvious that TikTok are singling me out now, and I think that was another case there. Last night, for some reason, we managed to get away with it. TikTok didn't notice, um, and I think that was another point there is a somebody must have because that's the other thing as well you got to remember is because Top Banana 80 is banned, they will automatically ban any other channel I use now for lives automatically because you're not supposed to use any other channels while you're banned on a different one. So yeah, that could also be another reason, but I don't think it was. I think it was that little child swearing. Um, Strange, really. Now I got more. I got a private chat.
Hello. Oh, wait. What the hell's going on?
Someone put in a private chat. I don't put in a private chat, folks, because I have no idea how to get into the private chats while I'm on screen. Whenever I try to go into the private chat, it always seems to end up with me leaving the studio for some reason. I'm no good with these computerized things, so I can't actually see the private chats until I leave the stage completely. But there you go. I mean, yeah, what can we do? Um, not a lot. Not a lot. Tiki Toki does seem to have it in at the moment for Christians, and as I say, it's not just me either. I see quite a few of the Christians doing it who are also targeted quite heavily by TikTok at the moment. They seem to be heavily in favour of the Muslims. I saw one the other day. Can't remember the channel name, but he was only talking about the Quran and whatnot, and um, he got Snow. How many times are you going to come on the stage, Snow? We've got two Snows now. But yeah, he wasn't saying anything, and they banned his channel. Rob Christian is another one. Um,
Oh,
but
sorry, Tony. So,
yeah,
sorry. Something's wrong with the Wi-Fi or something. Or my Wi-Fi, like I keep like cutting out. So I joined on another account, and so yeah, you've got two Fs here for now. I don't know why, but
yeah,
um,
I'll remove the. I think that's the one. Is
yeah,
that have
oh
I
yeah,
removed?
that's good. Yeah, this is
Oh,
me.
right.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's perfect. You removed the other one that wasn't supposed to be here. But yeah, TikTok's definitely got something out for you. Like I don't know what. Like I just checked the appeal, and the appeal it wasn't accepted. So I'm gonna go on ChatGPT, and I'm gonna see if I can do something about that because that's really weird. Like the guy who came up, he must have reported the live before or like during when he was up there because I didn't even hear like when he first came up. I didn't hear what he was saying. Like so I didn't even know what he was like mumbling when he first came up. So I thought he was just like a normal person, but then I heard like what he was saying and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, restart this like he's going to get the live taken."
Yeah, yeah, I was the same. I didn't hear what he said either. As you say, he was mumbling. So yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's well, it's one of those things. I mean, it's in appeal now, so we'll see what happens. But
What's going on with your other Top Banana account? Are you going to get that back soon or is that um still bananaed?
top banana 80 is bananaed until um. I think that'll be banana. I think it was bananaed. When did they banana it? I think it was Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think yeah, it was Friday.
I think they
Friday
bananaed it
evening.
on. Yeah, so that won't come back until Friday then. That
Oh,
one.
okay.
But I wasn't when it came. I wasn't thinking of coming back on it immediately. I was going
Yeah,
to wait a day and then come on it on Saturday because, as I say, I think they've earmarked that one out specially to just keep banning it. So I
I
don't
know
think it'll
it's just
make a lot of difference,
ridiculous.
but we'll see.
Yeah, like hopefully this YouTube will get up and running soon. But like, because TikTok is just ridiculous. Like TikTok with the whole banning thing, is just I don't know how they do it. It's crazy.
No, no, it is just getting stupid. That's what I say. It really is. And as I say, it's just going to kill it off. I think if you go, that's what I say. I think if you do it with YouTube and you connect it with YouTube, then I
Yeah,
think that makes it harder for them to ban it.
I
But
don't
I
like.
don't know because I've never done that. That's what I say. I've never used it, so I really don't know.
I know
I
there's
mean,
people who have like the agents and stuff, but like with those are very dodgy. So that's why like I don't like I've never used them. So that's why I wouldn't even recommend people to use them. But like I'm trying to like I don't get because I've seen other TikTokers and they don't get bananaed so easy. Like I've seen TikTokers and they'll come up and scream the N word and nothing will happen. So like I don't get like why they keep doing it to you. That's what I don't understand because like I've seen people where they'll come up scream the N word get like removed and then that's it like nothing happens like after that so I don't but
yeah, as I say, I think it's a certain moderator. I think there's a certain moderator who's marked my card, and I think so definitely. As I say, and I think that certain moderator seems to follow me about, and he's got his hand hovering over the ban button, and the immediately that I say something that he thinks, he can ban it for that's it straight away. He presses that button and that's it. I'm gone. So
I don't
yeah,
know,
I
like
think I've got not only as I say the AI. I think who also I think intercepts every now and again, but I do think there is definitely a human interference there who's just taken offence to me and the things that I talk about. It's,
I just think
I
it's
don't
really
know
weird.
why. I don't know why. I'm a
I
lovely
don't get
man.
it. Because I put it as 18, I put it as 18 plus as well. So like I don't under like I've literally what I did with the settings is I did every I did every single thing I possibly could think of to like I sent you the keywords as well, all the words that they can't say, otherwise it
Yeah,
will like mute them or whatever. But I don't know
yeah.
like it
But
just
that
doesn't
was
make
that's. I
sense.
think that's only in the comments, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only but like what I thought as well. Like
Yeah,
if I put that, maybe it will tell AI that we
yeah.
don't like
When see when they come up on live, you just haven't got any control. Like that's the problem. That's the
yeah.
problem. That's why I'm saying TikTok. It's TikTok's fault because they're allowing this to happen. That's the problem, you see, because TikTok have let them know if you behave like that in the live as a guest, we will ban the live. And of course, these people, if they want that particular live banned, that's all they have to do.
Yeah, I know it's
And as I
ridiculous.
say, it's crazy because TikTok is actually promoting this behaviour. It's the thing it's trying to stop, and the rule that it has in place that's so draconian to try to stop it is actually promoting that type of behaviour and allowing them to do that and allowing them to flourish and have their hate speech and their hate behaviour. It's crazy. It really is.
I
It's
know that
mad.
there's people that go live on their laptop and then that's how they get around certain community guidelines. But like that's like a lot of work. So I don't think it's even worth it. But then I don't understand because even I know not everyone's using their laptop. So like how are other people getting around it?
I
Is like
don't I
how I
don't even have a laptop. I don't
oh
have a
god.
laptop, Snow. I don't know how to
Yeah.
use them. I
Yeah.
can just about muster my phone.
I
I have a
know. It's
tablet, but it's an
yeah.
Amazon Fire tablet, and for some reason it doesn't like TikTok.
Yeah.
It,
I
it,
don't
it, I
know.
mean, it took me ages to download TikTok onto it in the first place, and then whenever I try to use it it doesn't seem to work properly. So for some reason, Amazon don't seem to like TikTok. I don't know
Yeah.
why,
I don't
but
like.
yeah,
I don't get it. Like I really don't understand. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT and see what they can come up with. But like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I mean, ask them and see. Maybe they can do it something. Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah, I'll even see if I can email them or something. But do you know what? I'll let you go anyway, and you can talk to the audience because I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. So just kick me because I'm not really like the best with this. But yeah, kick me.
All right. God
All
bless
right.
you. God bless you. So yeah, I mean it's strange, I can't understand TikTok. They certainly do seem to have it in for me. I mean I've had so many different accounts over the years. And the first few accounts I had, I mean this is going back 4 or 5 years now, they just disappeared. They didn't have any warnings or anything back then. You just went to log into your account and it was gone. It wasn't there anymore. And you're sitting there thinking, "What? Hold on a minute, what's happened?" And some of those accounts, I had thousands and thousands of followers on some of them. The videos had thousands and thousands of views. And yeah, they're just. gone. Well, that one, the first one was just gone with no warnings at all. The second one, or third one, second or third one, I'm not sure because I did two after that. I did two or three accounts after that at the same time. I thought if I have a couple of accounts, that way if one of them disappears, I've still got the other one. And they started giving warnings on both those accounts. But both those accounts, after about three warnings, I think it was, they went on to permanent bans, both of them, after just three warnings. And now you get 7, 8, 9, 10 warnings before it goes to permanent ban. So, I mean, it's really crazy, TikTok, the way they, I don't know if they keep changing it or what, but it's stupid. And as I say, I'm not the only, I've heard other people say they had a ban for hate speech and hate behaviour, and it was silence. No one was speaking. It was silence for 2 or 3 minutes, and it got banned for hate speech and hate behaviour. There was no one on the, no guest up. It was just the host on his own, and he wasn't speaking. So it was just complete silence. There was nothing on the screen, and they banned it for hate speech and hate behaviour. Uh, I seriously, I just don't, as I say, I can't work TikTok out at all. And then their guidelines. I've been through their guidelines, several times. I've read through their guidelines, especially on hate speech and hate behaviour, because that's the one I always keep getting, hit with. And it doesn't even say anything in there. It just says if you use hate speech or hate behaviour, especially towards a specific group or persons. Um, and I mean, I suppose because I constantly talk about Islam, I suppose to them that is hate speech and hate behaviour towards Islam. But how are you supposed to, you know, use the app as a Christian and talk about things that are not Christian? Um, and not get blamed for hate. It's impossible. The only way you could actually do that then is to just constantly talk about Christian things. Um, and to me, that seems, I don't know. I mean, that seems a bit, um, I don't know. It just seems a bit nonsensical. Because there are people who do that, and I can understand people who would do that. But I think, you also need to allow people to discuss things that they would um, find offensive to themselves. So, for instance, as a Christian, I find Islam offensive because they say that Jesus Christ is not God. They say that Jesus Christ was not crucified. And to a Christian, that is Satan. That is satanic. It's the Antichrist. And as I say, we should, as Chris, be allowed to discuss that and talk about that with the people who do that. And I don't think that's hate speech or hate behaviour. And this is the problem with today's society as well, especially in the UK. Today's society is so, so against anybody speaking out against anything. And that's so wrong. Why should you not be allowed to speak about something that you do not agree with? Why not? It's so stupid to put a complete ban on that, and say you're not allowed to talk about, football or fishing or LBTGQ even or transsexual or abortions just because you disagree with it. Why not? That's the point. You should be at least be able to talk about these things. Because if you stop the discussion, if you stop the talking, you only promote further behavior, which is even more hateful and even more destructive. Crazy. Absolute crazy. And then they sit back and they scratch their head and wonder, why is everybody rioting? Why is everybody, trying to fight each other? Duh. Why do you think? Because you stopped them all sitting round a table and discussing it like adults, you moronic idiot. God dear, oh dear. Uh, um, so yeah, I mean, it's. I don't understand it really. I don't, I mean, I am so happy that I am towards the end of my days and not towards the start of my days. To be honest with you, I'm so happy that I don't have a lot longer left to live. I think if I did, I think if I was still young, I think what I would be doing at this moment is, instead of wasting my time trying to, educate people, I would be looking for a desert island somewhere that I could go and live on, and without any interference from anyone else. Because to be honest with you, I think the whole world is just going loop de loo. I really do. The whole world is just going loop de loo la la. And it's heading on a one-way path to total destruction, and so very few people can see it, which is a shame. That the majority of people think, we're all in beautiful clover fields, and beautiful flower fields, and it's all lovey-dovey. Um, Seriously, it's crazy. It's crazy the way that the world is heading, and the way the world is moving towards. All this mixture of all different cultures, and all different views. Um, it's not going to work, and I can't understand why people cannot see that. I can't understand why their half a brain cell cannot even stretch to working out that that's not going to work. You cannot mix together all different people with different cultures, different beliefs, different morals, different rules, different ways of life, and hope that they will all mix and live together happily. It's not going to work. Seriously, it's it's beyond stupidity, to say the least. I mean, I still sit now and listen to, sometimes on YouTube and other platforms, people discussing about the grape grooming gangs. You know, from particular places in the world. Um, and yet still none of them discuss the full problem, and that is Islam itself. Islam itself is the thing that promotes this child grooming gangs. It promotes sex with children. The Quran promotes it, and none of them want to why not? Because they're all so shit scared of saying it. The whole lot of them are so shit scared of saying the Muslims and the Quran and Islam promotes that. But why not? Why shouldn't you be saying that? In other, they would much rather the children continue to get raped and destroyed and ruined, rather than calling out the people that are doing it. Oh Lord, stop the world! I want to get off. Stop the world! I want to get off. Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is taking over the world. And that's the other thing when there's this Islam and these cult, they make themselves out to be so higher than high and white, and they're not. They're not. They're worse than anyone else. There's tons of alcohol in Middle Eastern countries, tons of it. But because it's illegal, you don't see it. There's tons of drugs there. Again, because it's illegal, you don't see it. Same as in the UK. The UK is awash with drugs, all sorts of types of drugs. Just because you make something illegal, it doesn't stop it. And that's the point with it. They're still awash with alcohol. They're still awash with drugs. And on top of that, they're awash with child sex. They're awash with fornication of all sorts, animals as well. I mean, seriously, it's crazy, crazy. What was the book? Muslim and Nawawi. That's it. There's a book It's called Muslim and Nawawi. Hold on a minute. Let me just go and get a few things. Um, okay. So this is a famous book in Islam called Muslim and Nawawi, Nawi, Volume 2, page 41. Okay. And this is just a small excerpt from this book. And it states that the peni can enter a woman's anus and a man's anus and an animal vagina or an animal anus. And then after that, you must do ritual ablution. In other words, you must wash ritually your private parts. If your private parts enter a woman's anus or a man's anus or an animal vagina or an animal's anus, then you must do ritual wudu washing. It then goes on to state that it's also required if one inserts it into an alive or dead person, whether they are old or whether they are young, alive or dead, old or young, whether intentionally or forgetfully. How do you enter your peni into an ani or a vagina forgetfully? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I did that. And this is in the Muslim book, Muslim and Nawawi. Whether intentionally or forgetfully, whether by choice or by duress, you must again do the ritual washing. If you enter into an alive or dead person, whether young or old. And this is, as I say, a famous Muslim book, Muslim and Nawawi. I'll tell you someone who quotes this book quite regularly, Muhammad Hijab. Muhammad Hijab quotes this book quite a lot, Muslim and Nawawi. So, he's clearly read this book. He's clearly read this, that the man's penis can enter a woman's anus or a man's anus or an animal vagina or an animal anus. And as long as you wash it afterwards, that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And this is Islam, folks. And this is the things, that we should be discussing. These are the things we should be talking about, especially in the UK and the West. You know, should these things be allowed? Should these things be allowed around our children? uh, Seriously, it's and yet no one is allowed to. That's the point. That they're trying their hardest to shut all this down, to stop people talking about this. If you talk about this, you're actually classed as hating them. Why are you classed as hating someone because you talk about how they are allowed to put their peni into an animal or a dead person, young or old? How can that be classed as hate when that's what their books say? I mean, seriously, we need to start waking up. That's the problem. We need to start waking up. I mean, we have swung so far to the lefty loony, to literally allow anything and everything. As I say, we are in huge danger of just, you know, basically there's going to be nothing that's wrong. That's what's going to end up. It's going to be like, no matter what anybody does to you, anyone can come and do whatever they want to you, and no one can say that's wrong. You can't say it's wrong, otherwise you hate them, and no one else can say what they're doing is wrong, otherwise they hate them. Just imagine that. Just imagine a world like that, where you're out one day shopping, getting your fruit and veg, and someone, a complete stranger, comes up and does whatever they want to you, defiles you in the most disgusting way, and you can't stop it. or even speak about it. That is exactly where we're heading. Exactly. And as I say, imagine that with a little child, a little tiny baby. Imagine a little tiny baby being plucked out of its pram and all disgusting things happening to that baby. And no one can say nothing. That's exactly where we're heading. Crazy. Absolute crazy world. Mad world. Crazy mad world. And as I say, we are each and every one of us is to blame. That's the problem. Each and every single one of us is to blame at the moment for the current situation and the future situation that is facing each and every one of us, because we're all rushing forward towards that situation with and it's not being stopped or halted by anybody. It's crazy. The politicians, the police, all the people in power, none of them. They're all rushing headlong straight towards it, and the majority of people seem to be cheering it on and wishing for and saying, yeah, great. So that's how life should be. Everyone should live happily together, and everyone should be able to do exactly what they want. It, I mean, I can't understand why people cannot see and realize that you cannot have a civilized society that doesn't have any morals or laws. Overall, objective morals or rules. When you have a society that is run completely with just subjective morals and rules, you have no society. There is no society. It's just anarchy. All you're left with is complete and utter anarchy. Yes, Ishike, what's your question? I'll try and answer it if I can. Okay, boring. Why are you boring, Ishike? What makes you boring? Why do you think you're boring? Is it that you're boring because you haven't got the gonads between your legs to come up on the stage and actually talk to me? Is it you're boring because you'd rather sit in the chat and talk crap in the chat? Is that why you're boring, Ishike? You came to the wrong stage, Ishike. Really, you did. Really, honestly, you came to the wrong stage, Ishike. um, so yeah, I mean, society is, and unfortunately, it's people like Ishike as well who's promoting this society, and it's people like Ishike, who are. You join Ishike by clicking on the link. There's the link in the comment, or there's the link on the screen, Ishike. All you need to do is click on that. It's quite simple, Ishike. What you do is you use a finger, or if you want, you can use that finger, any finger you want, Ishike, and just click on the link. It's so simple. Even your half a brain cell could work it out. I love you too, Ishike. I love you too. I love everybody. Unfortunately, I don't love where society is heading at the moment. I think we're heading into um, a very dangerous and very difficult time for everybody, especially women and young children. I think women and young children, the way society is going, is heading into, um, something that basically, unless women and young children start carrying around shotguns, they're in huge danger. No, Ishike, I never did have anything like that. I was too busy getting high. I spent most of my life getting high, as high as I could, Ishike, because even when I was younger, I hated society still and the way that we were heading and the things that were happening. And so I found that if you got as high as you possibly could, that seemed to blot it all out, at least for a few hours. And then, of course, once you started to come down, it started to come back to reality. So then you had to sort of try and get even higher again. So I've basically spent about 46, 50 years, Ashike, of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, being high out of my head top, as high out of my head top as I could possibly be, for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 50 years, Ishike. And I found that sort of helped it slightly. I found I could just about cope with society at that point. Because if I never did that, I would have had to have walked around with a submachine gun and shot everybody in the head. And I don't think that would have been a good solution. And unfortunately, well, what would you like to learn about Christianity, Ishike? Why don't you tell me what you would like to learn about Christianity? Don't they just need to click on it, Snow? Don't you just need to click on the link? I thought you just had to click on it with your finger. I'm sure you just had to click on it with your finger. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's why I post it. I'm pretty sure you do. You just need to click on it with your finger, and then you. How did you do it, Snow, just now? Didn't you just click on it? I thought you just had to click on it. That's why it's there. I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure you just click on it with your finger and it automatically sends the request through. Let me try it. Oh, that takes it away. Oh, if I do it, it takes it away. Oh, I can't bring it back now either. Where is it? It's gone. I think that was it. I think that was it. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. There you go. I got it back again. I'm sure you just click on it. Who is the real Jesus? Well, depends on whether you're talking about the human Jesus or the divine Jesus, really. But he's God, basically, is she? The real Jesus is God. And that's even in your Quran, because I'm pretty sure you're a Muslim. Even in your Quran, the real Jesus is God. Surah 43, ayah 61, he knows the hour. And in the Quran, the only one who knows the hour is God, Allah. So Jesus is Allah, 43:61. And Surah 9, ayah 31. Jesus Christ is also called God in that Surah and ayah. So you have two surahs and ayahs in your Quran that call Jesus Christ God. You can also add to that Al Imran. Not sure what ayah it is in Al Imran. I'll have to look up my notes. Where he creates life. He makes a bird out of clay and breathes into it, and it comes alive. Now I know all you Muslims say, yeah, but that's with the permission of Allah. It doesn't matter. The only person who should be able to create life is God. And once God gives a human being the permission to create life, he's given him the permission to be God. Yeah, nearly, well, not every religion, but most other religions do have Jesus or talk of Jesus, and the ones who don't talk of him, they all attack him as well. So, he's either attacked or talked about as a prophet or a messenger or a special type of person. Yes, quite correct, Ishike, which is quite amazing, isn't it? How so many of them either venerate Jesus or try to subjugate him. Yeah, and it's exactly what he said in the Bible as well, Ishike. Exactly the same as what he said in the Bible. He will be subjugated by the majority of people and persecuted by the majority of people, and that's the case. Why is he persecuted? Why is he subjugated? He was a perfect man. He never did anything wrong. He never hurt anybody. If you want to look for the perfect man on earth, you cannot find more perfect than Jesus Christ, who went out of his way to help everybody and went out of his way to love everybody. And yet still people persecute him and blame him and accuse him of things that he hasn't done. Why? Why? Strange. Okay, so I mean, I did think there'd be a lot more than 4 people. Um, Even though I did pre-plan this live for yesterday at this time, I was hoping a few more would come in, but no, unfortunately they haven't. I think 50 minutes is enough. So I'm going to end it, peeps. I'm going to love you all and leave you all. God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you all. Love one another, people, because without love, the only thing that's left is hate. And if we all hate one another, I really don't need to finish that, do I? We all know what will happen when all of us hate each other. Whereas, see how much better it would be if we were all to love one another. And yet, with a certain group, that's impossible because a certain group doesn't want to love each other. A certain group only wants to love itself. And everyone outside of that group, it wants to hate, kill, or subjugate. That's the problem, folks. That's the problem. We need to either get rid of that group completely or teach that group that that cannot be. In order for you to survive in today's world, you cannot have those hate, those subjugation, and those killing views. And unfortunately, that group cannot change those views because, according to that group, those views came straight from its God. Well, guess what, that group? Put your God straight up your darkest hole and don't ever bring him out of there ever again. That's my view to you. And if you don't like that, I don't care. God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you all. I was live on TikTok, Ishik, until a Muslim decided to get it banned by coming on, reporting himself, and then shouting out "fuck you, nigger," and and can I rape you? And then because he did that, TikTok banned the live, like they always do. Because it's a Muslim app at the end of the day, and it bends over backwards to please Muslims, as just as everyone else does. Sadly, there is still, I mean, not sadly, but gladly, there is still quite a lot of people who aren't going to bend over backwards for Muslims. And one day, Muslims are going to find this out, and then they're going to start crying, just like they're crying in Gaza at the moment and Palestine. So God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you all. Love one another, peeps, as Jesus Christ loves.